London. Joyer, like damn.
I think that was Raj. I'm not
अबे
sure.
ये
I
क्या
think that was Raj.
I
क्या है
don't think
बता
so. It
क्या
was Raj. Was it?
क्या है तुझे क्या पता वेरीफाई है कि नहीं वो देखना नहीं है वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ ये कौन है
Verified नहीं है तो फिर मत खेलने दो ब्रो.
Oh, the rules were clear, right?
दिया ना पर कितना शीट तू देखो मैं ये हेलो सैंडी
हम्म हम्म
क्या करना है इन लोग का
किनका क्या करना है?
राइट टीम का
प्लेयर्स नहीं आ रहे, अभी हो गए ना 15 मिनट.
अबे
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. You all are watching Midsummer Season 2. We are in the round 3 and it's going to be day number 2. I know there are a lot of twos out there, but I promise to you that on the casting desk, it's going to be some amazing fun action being brought to you by me, Skated, and alongside me, it's going to be none other than Peachy. Peachy, how are you doing?
Hello, Scariot. I am good today. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing amazing as well because I'm pretty excited about the matchup that's going to happen today. I know it took us some time, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize for the technical issues, but it's going to be, just as I mentioned, a super exciting evening. The matchups in front of us is going to be between Team Dead Leaves up against Team Hero, and we'll be starting things off and hitting on the drafting desk in very quick, short amount of time. But before we move forward, right, Peachy, you have been a part of this tournament for a while now. I just joined in today, so you might as well want to let us know as to how things went yesterday.
Yesterday was an amazing day. We have seen a lot of matches and a battle between two of the amazing teams, battling for the victories.
Mhm. I understand that. Yeah, I mean, it's again a very tight spot that we all of these teams are in, right? Because after all, you really need to win your match, otherwise you will not have the second chance. It's at the end of the day a single elimination bracket as of now. But honestly, more than that, it's all the best of one matches that always count. But before we talk more about what happened, ladies and gentlemen, let's move forward to the drafting phase. On the blue side, as I mentioned, it's going to be Dead Leaf. On the red side, we've got Team Hero, and the first ban is up on its way. Gonna be a Moscow. Really love that Moscow ban. And here's a fun announcement for you all of you that it's not just a two-man casting desk. I told you there are a lot of twos, but there's gonna be a three somewhere hidden, and that is on the casting desk itself. As we will be joined in by none other than Pooja. Pooja, how are you doing? Never mind. Just like always, Pooja decides not to reply back to me. But either ways, we're gonna continue moving forward with those bands, Peachy, a Harith and a Chip. I really like these bands.
Um, you're right. It is really annoying though when the players pick it because of his ultimate, which helps the teammates to teleport them towards the enemy in within seconds.
Uh-huh. That is true. That is true. I mean, in terms of rotations, Chip is actually a very solid pick. Plus, also, just as you mentioned, it can always turn around the situations which are like a 3v5 or 4v5 back into a 5v5 by bringing all of his teammates all around the land of Dawn. And one another hero that could do a pretty solid job in terms of rotation is also Matilda, which has been banned out yet again by the side of Team Hero. Like the idea, like the approach, pretty standard bans. There's nothing fancy going around, but there is still Fredrin open and up for grabs. Ling being banned out. Pooja, if you've joined us, what do you think about this Ling ban? Never mind. She seems to be facing some technical issue. We're going to be fixing that quickly. Please do not mind. And for all the people out there who do not know, she's just trying to join in the Discord back and forth again and again, just trying to unmute herself. I was talking about Fredrin Peachy. Fredrin has been banned out yet as well.
You're right. He is also a good hero when it comes to the gym.
Hmm.
We'll be seeing the first pick by Team Blue, which is Team Deadleaves, and they have picked Roger. Roger is
Hmm.
an interesting choice. They might be playing in the jungle area.
I would really like the Roger to actually go inside that gold lane, right? Because, yeah, in terms of jungling, I think so. You still have some better options. Hellcut being logged in very quickly by the side of Hero. Now that is something I was not expecting so early on, but all right, they've also logged in the Roger. Now it's understandable. The Franco, my bad. It's understandable. Roger would want to dive in, and then Franco is there for the bloody hunt. But I still feel that is way too early for that. The enemy can if could eventually pick up a Minotaur if they really want to.
Oh, you're right. Minotaur is still open. Let's see what they are going to pick right now.
Who do you think is going to be the next pick? To be honest,
Oh, they logged Belleric right now for tank, and I think they might lock a mage or maybe a fighter.
highly possible, highly possible. But one good thing that has happened right now is, ladies and gentlemen, Pooja fixed her own issue and she is back now with us to continue with this drafting phase. Pooja, first of all, tell us how are you doing and how annoying it was to deal with that technical problem of Discord.
You know how that thing goes, but I'm back for now, and I do see some interesting draft coming in from the side of Team Hero. I mean, Franco as a first pick, I'm not really sure because there could have been better options. There were Minotaur open. There were I, healers are doing pretty good this season. I must say. So I think they should have picked a hero if they are going with a squishy jungler like Hellcut for to help him sustain into the team fights. That is what I think they could have chosen because once Franco uses his ult, I think he's pretty much useless in the team fight. He just has to back off. So if they pick up a pretty good frontliner for their team in the EXP lane, then I think they can pull this off. Maybe.
I kind of like where you were going with that because honestly, yes, unless you basically land in those iron hooks every single time, Franco does not bring a lot on the table. But what definitely does is, of course, the Barretts, which was banned out right now by the side of Team Hero. And that is probably because of the fact they don't quite understand that Roger is the one who will go in the jungle, which should have been pretty clear by now because Claude has been picked up and nowhere Claude is playing in the mid lane, right? With the Vengeance, he will obviously go into that gold lane itself. So I still feel they could have banned out another mage in that situation. But since we're talking about mage, Peachy, which mage do you think is like right now pretty good to counter the god on the other side?
Maybe a CC hero or maybe Lilia. In my opinion, Lilia is also a good hero to counter God because she's very mobile with her ultimate.
That is very true. That is very true. But again, in terms of mobility, I am not going to keep Nathan out of that because once he's got his 6 stacks, he can move around way too quickly. And oh my goodness, kudos to you, Peachy. You made a prediction of a Lilia to be picked up just because of the god being there, and Lilia's got the mobility. I think so. Beer will probably pick the Lilia up, but for the EXP, now that's an important matchup, right? And since there's a god on the other side, Esmeralda has been picked up. I think so. They just want to go all dive in, right? They want to break all hell loose, Pooja, because look at the amount of dive. There's a Roger, there's a Claude, there's also the Esmeralda, and technically a Lilia.
I kind of want to say that Team Deadleaves are pretty much relying on their late game because Claude takes a little while to come online into the matches, and Lilia, the cooldown on. I do agree that she does have a lot of burst and lot of mobility, but in terms of God, the damage that he gives out early game compared to Lilia, she takes a bit to come online. I think mid to late. So if they are not able to snowball Roger pretty well in the early game, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult for them because as you can see. for Team Hero, they have picked Yuzong. And you know how scary he can be if he is able to clear his lane and rotate onto the team fight, especially on the turtle fight.
I would 100% agree. But ladies, before we jump into the land of dawn, I need quick predictions from you. First, Pooja, tell me, who do you think is winning? Team Hero or Dead Leaves?
I would go for Team Deadlifts if they are able to stretch it out into the late game,
Okay.
and if they are pretty much able to snowball Roger really well early into the game. So they pretty much have it in their hands.
All right, understandable. Peachy, go for a quick guess. Who do you think will win? Team Blue or Team Red?
I'm favoring Team Red right now because they have a good CC given by God, Franco, and also Yu Zhong as the front line.
All right, understandable. And that's the predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Two of the lovely ladies who are on the desk with me supporting two of the other teams. But that's the fun of this game. It's going to be the land of dawn time. We're already in there, 35 seconds into the game, and Roger has already taken his orange buff. Now, he's been starting from the bottom side. That means his rotation should eventually lead him over towards the top in the gold lane, where Claude is up against the Nathan, while Helkert, since he started with his own purple, would eventually land in the almost the same area. But it just seems they want to prioritize the Litho Wanderer as of now. So in terms of the early snowball, Pooja, you talked about, if in case Denfitz is the one who's able to snowball it in the early game, I think so. This should be able to transition it pretty well into the late. But what about the bloody hunt that's gonna come in from Franco?
I think it's going to take a while for him if he manages to get the first blood early on, right, like we are seeing right now. I think that
Uh-huh.
is a first blood for him. Like I told you, if he's able to snowball pretty well, it's going to be over for Team Heroes.
He wants to go in for one more basic attack, just misses out his net. And with that, we're gonna see Ken survive. That's
That's
so
what I
very
was
close
talking
out
about.
there. True.
The early snowball potential on Roger is very scary. And even though yeah, I do prefer him on the gold lane, but as a jungler, I don't think he's pretty bad.
He's doing pretty solid job right now. And Peachy, it seems the team that you thought would eventually get that early snowball in has conceded two of the kills. That means the turtle priority will now again go to Dead Leaves. Team Hero would need to make some heroic plays right now.
We can already see both teams coming in for the turtle to contest, and it is a very close battle. So let's see who's gonna win the retreat.
That is indeed true, as the Black Dragon form comes in as well to try and take care of the people out there. It's going to be stunned up, defied out of the picture, but Genshiro wants to survive. Not before we're going to see Denfitz chasing him down in the wolf form. Will eventually go back to retreat, but still we're going to see Esmeralda trying to take that fight on. Will be hooked in back into the team, but will still survive with a slither of HP. And no, we're still seeing Roger, but in the minimap we could eventually see what happened out there. And that turtle fight again going in favor of Dead Leaves, Pooja.
Um, Right now, I think if Team Heroes try to play around Nathan, I think that is going to be the only saving potential for them into the late game. Because if Hellcut right now, I don't think is doing pretty well. So if they try to snowball Nathan as much as they can, which they are trying to do, but you know the dive com that they have with Team Deadly Leaves, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But yeah, I think they need to play around Nathan right now.
I would kind of agree, but over towards the board, it's going to be one of the most boring matchups between Yuzhong and Esmeralda. Like we already know, both of them are just going to chunk each other down. But there we go. The bloody hunt comes in along with the superposition,
Oh
along
my
with the
god.
Kamehameha. Ken Ryuguji doing a phenomenal job getting that pick for his team. The Shah is in. Oh my god, Bidyut surviving. You'd get again a slither of HP, and he loses the cannon minion too. That's some important EXP that he's lost, Peachy.
Yes. Uh, we have seen a good battle right now in the top lane, and
Oh!
Bond
That
escaping
was
with
a
a
pretty
nick of a time.
phenomenal hook, but I don't think that's going to do anything for him. He's pretty much fed right now. Look at him just dive in and come out just like that. Who is going to catch him?
Unless it's a bloody hunt from Franco, because that's what I think. But look at the dive, Peachy. They really want to take Roger's life, don't they?
Yes, you're right. Now the second turtle has been spawned, and again there is a contest going on.
Yeah,
While Roger's team is a little behind, I think they're gonna catch up soon.
maybe highly possible. They just zone out every single one. The Wrath of Dryads connect, but that's going to be Ken using his entire Mystic Gush on just a Belleric. That is not exactly the target that you were looking for. Low in HP. That's going to be the Bloody Hunt coming in right into the tower. Esmeralda should be taken down with the amount of tower damage. And there comes Nathan with the entropy, trying to delete Lily out of there. No black shoes available for you to try and survive. The tower chunk down a bit. But here's the thing, Pooja, Claude has not yet joined in those team fights and he's already built up a corrosion strike.
I think he was pretty late into the team fight. The Yuzong did a pretty well job in trying to zone out the Belleric and his other team member over there. I think if he wouldn't have been there, they pretty much would have lost the fight.
But they are still trying to run away. That's gonna be oh my honey. Oh,
We
that's the
can
name.
already see Roger going in into the turrets and killing the enemy MM.
Yeah, I was just trying to read his name. Oh my honey. So I'm just gonna call him Nathan. Seems to be a little bit more viable. Henry wanted to join it, but he was pretty late to the party. Wanted to save his Colin out there, but took a top lane Peachy. They're taking the tier 2 already.
Oh, even Roger is getting, not Roger, I mean, Claude is getting farmed up well.
That is indeed true, but there we go. Blazing Duet comes into play as well. The flicker being used up by Henry, and that's going to be the Black Dragon from trying to save their own teammates. But yet again, the Vengeance comes in. He pops it up perfectly, and that's the cleanup. Then Fitzer joins in, jumps in, tries to catch all of them. Retribution used up, along with the sprint on the other side, with the Helker tries to join in to the action. Yet again, no use of that whatsoever because they are so far behind in terms of itemizations. I would still say a 2000 gold lead, but oh my honey on that Nathan over towards the bot, he's doing a pretty good job taking the pressure off of his team.
I think the
So,
Belleric is doing a pretty well job in making Team Hero use all of their resources so that Roger, oh my god, as soon as I say it, Roger is dead.
I mean, Peachy, you wanted to
we can,
say something, right?
yeah, in the bot lane, we have seen Nathan rotating from top to bot, taking turrets. And right now, he was trying his best to escape, but unfortunately, Belleric joined the party and used his ultimate, the Wrath of Dryad, and caught him.
That is indeed true, and that's going to be another fight being broken out. All hell break loose. Esmeralda jumps out of the harm's way. The Shah essence not enough to take her down. But look at Claude in towards the bottom side. Tier 1's going to be taken away, ripped apart, and that is what's been the storyline of this game. And now this is the point that I wanted to mention. When the mid tier 1 falls, the jungle access now comes into play. But wait a second. Blazing to it being used up and Claude going out because he knew that there's Henry jumping in and there's always that risk of bloody hunt. So he didn't want to lose his life there. A tactical retreat, but I like the idea. But yes, Pooja, as I was talking about the fact that since mid tier 1 is not there, that means the jungle access is now present.
I totally agree with you, and I think Team Deadly Leaves are doing a really good job into prioritizing objectives, whereas I see Team Heroes not. Even if they did want to prioritize object, I think they are pretty far behind into when it comes uh, to the team fights because, like I said, okay.
There we go, the Mystic Gush into the play as well. But what a clutch coming in from Ren Fitzer. 1 HP, but the Lycan Pounce was able to catch one. The stun comes in, and now we're going to see the Black Dragon trying to jump into the action. Pretty late to the party, but still wants to try and grab as many berries as possible as he will be taking down a beer on the Lilia. As everyone on his team was zoned out, he still prevails now. Esmeralda just trying to go in for that dance, will be joining in the Wrath of Riot, taking all the aggro on himself. Belric wants to survive, but that's going to be a Mystic Gush yet again. As Vidyu jumped in with the falling star wound, but the damage is just not enough. As Helker tried to take her down, but again the shield coming into play. Iron Hook almost landing, but oh my god, this is the kiting ability of an Esmeralda Peachy. This is what I wanted to talk about as well, but as soon as I mention it, he's still just having such a fun time, and then Fitzer gets the god for that overextension.
He got punished right now for staying too long trying to kill that Esmeralda.
That is true. And it just seems, Pooja, the thing that we guessed that maybe the early game should go in for the side of Team Hero and Deadleaf should prevail in late game. Things are kind of switching back and forth as the Belleric now gets caught yet again. Wrath of Dryad not being allowed as well. Nathan falls in the meantime. The Black Dragon form being used to try and go in for that retreat. But wait a second. Hellcut tries to jump in, gets a decent amount of damage, but there's no one for the cleanup job. Now that means Pooja Lord is going in for the side of Dead Leaves.
Belric did a pretty good job trying to ult four people right there. He just forced the dragon to get out of the fight because the last team fight that we saw, the only reason that they won the team fight, Team Heroes won the team fight was because of the kiting of Yu Zhong. So having him leave the team fight earlier before the Lord, I think that was a pretty good decision coming in from Team Deadly Leaves. But there we see
Finally.
Zelda getting punished for being way far ahead, way out of position. Should
That
have
is
waited
true.
for the Lord, should have gone with the team, should have rotated into their jungle, but I think it is what it is.
Bit of an overstay being punished, that's all about it. Oh my god, Lord Rahul just giving out so much information to his team. Wrath of Dryad being connected. Henry could not do anything. Mystic Gush being used up out in the open, in the wild. There's not a single shred of hero or minions out there to be taken care of, but that's going to be the Blazing Duet coming in. Now, God cannot survive this action. Just taken down, obliterated, and the Lord is marching down towards the top side, Peachy.
This is what I was
Oh,
talking about when it comes to Claude, that he has so much movement speed, so much rotating potential. Like, I think it's finally time that he has come online because it's very difficult to pin him down. What are you going to do with a Franco? You can just ult down one person and after
Oh,
that what?
yeah, that's gonna be the Flicker Bloody Hunt coming in. The Iron Hook Bloody Hunt, but everything is just a mess. The Wrath of Dryad is out there, but the Lord will be catching onto the crystal. Pretty low HP onto that one, and it should be done and dusted, even though Mystic Gush was used. It was not enough. And Dead Leaves are gonna bloom into the new one, and they prevail for this game. Peachy, you predicted for the victory of the side of Team Hero. Unfortunately, they just could not get their footing into the game.
yes, you're right. But I'm very happy for Team Deadlifts. They have done very well showcasing their team fights and the team
That is
They
indeed
played
true.
around very well around their team composition. I mean, if Roger wouldn't have been able to snowball early onto the game, it would have been really difficult for them. They would have to wait for the late game because what are you going to do? Esmeralda is going to get burst down by the true damage of God if she doesn't have her itemization. I think focusing on the objectives and the rotation speed that they do have, I think that came in handy for them really well. They did not let the Hellcut snowball into the game. He was not able to do anything. They also did not try to play around Nathan. He got pressured a lot from the early game, and Dragon was just getting melted down by the damage coming in from Team Deadly Leaves.
I would agree. There were some moments when you saw that Genichiro was getting some value. It was all about the timing. But again, the entire early snowball, as you mentioned, Pooja and Peachy, as you also mentioned, was in favor of Denfitza on that Roger, and he went in for the Trinity build. Now, normally people would go in for the Wind Talker, Endless Battle build, the full burst build, but I kind of like the idea because he was still able to do a lot of damage while also kiting around pretty well, and Lord Rahul on the Belleric was doing such a good job with the Wrath of Dryads, taking every single piece of aggro onto him. But it was such a phenomenal job coming in from both of these teams. And at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it's again Dead Leaves winning out this game. Unfortunately for Team Hero, they would have to concede the defeat. But that is just first game, ladies and gentlemen. We still have got quite a few of them lined up for you. So you do not want to go out anywhere as we've got another match which is going to be coming up very quickly. It's going to be between White Feather Esports up against the Alchemist. But after the short break. Welcome back, everyone. I know after that wait, we are finally back in yet again for another game of the evening. We've been waiting for it to begin now, but we will finally be jumping into it. But yes, the storytellers for this one are going to be me, Skated, and alongside me it's going to be Peachy. And the teams that we'll have in front of us will be White Feather Esports up against the Alchemists. Peachy, how excited are you for this game?
This is going to be another good game that you're going to see between the team White Feather Esports and the Alchemist right here.
I'm pretty excited about how the things are gonna move forward right now in this situation. But if I'm not wrong, I just believe the team on the red is potentially going to be White Feather Esports. I'll just need a confirmation onto that one though. But in the meantime, yes, we'll still continue to move forward. And Pooja will also be joining in, ladies and gentlemen, for the casting desk for the analysis, the major breakdown as to what is going to happen in this game. But Pooja, I want to ask you as well, how excited are you for this one?
I am pretty excited because I do know a few people from Team White Feathers. Not going to lie, I might be fangirling. Not going to lie, but I'm pretty excited about this match.
So am I, and I know we wanted to begin the drafting phase, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna be jumping in the draft right away. Again, in the previous one, I still remember that we saw the common standard bans with the Moscow, with also the Harith. But right now, Peachy, we are starting with an Angela ban.
This is very unusual band that I have seen in the past few matches because the first band it was usually a Moscow or a Nathan or maybe a jungler like a Fredrin or Barat. But Angela is very surprising right now.
I
So
would like to interrupt, and I do not think Angela is a very surprising ban because I have been seeing her getting banned a lot right now in ranked
oh,
matches with how Link has been popping off. And if we do have a potential Link jungler onto the side of Team Red, I think that is a very smart ban coming in from Team Blue.
I would kind of agree. I was also taken aback to see Angela as the first ban because I think for the first one or two, you might really want to ban out a Harith, maybe a Moscow. But yes, in the first banning phase itself, I would want to see an Angela being taken out, Angela being banned out. So I feel it's still a pretty solid ban coming in from both of these teams. That it's Angela, Harith, Moscow, and Fredrin. Now I feel it's high time to ban out Nathan. Don't you feel, Peachy?
Yes, you're right. Nathan has been popping off in the past few matches in this tournament also. And From day two, we have seen Nathan taking Maniac also yesterday, which was a very good play from that player. So, and we are seeing here a very, very unusual ban that would be a Lela. It is very surprising.
I mean, Pooja, you are the analyst here. What's Lala banned for?
Either it's just for jokes, or hey, Lela, late game, not bad.
You know what I
I wouldn't.
personally feel? I just feel that the reason why they banned out a Layla was because of the fact that if enemy gets one good pick, then we take two away from them. So they just kind of wanted to leave room open for those heroes. What do you think?
That is what I was saying. It might be for the jokes because then it gives them more room to pick off other heroes that are open. Like I said, Nathan, and nobody's picking Nathan. That's very surprising. And Tigril coming in as the first pick when there's a Diggy open, but they do not know if the Akai is going to go on the jungle. They still have the option to pick a Diggy that is absolutely going to counter the Tigril, or a Valentina, the Gatto ult, the Vexana ult, the Tigril ult. I think it's going to be pretty useful. And they go in with an X Borg.
Pichi, what do you think about this Xbox pick?
Xborg is a really good pick for an EXP, and I think they are also going in for a dive comp. We are looking at an Akai jungle, a Roger in the goal lane, and they have banned Zilong. It is another unusual ban, but maybe on the blue side, we might have India number one Zilong, and that they might be fearing. So maybe
Is
they
that true?
banned it for that. Oh no,
Am
I'm
I
not
missing
sure, but
something here?
I'm not sure, but they might be scared of that Zilong pick of, because Zilong flanks are very good. You can just go in with his ultimate, click on inspire, go by from one hero to another and finish them off.
Well, speaking about Zilong, I think the Xbox pick was very smart given that they have two tanky frontliners. So having a good sustained fighter into the XP lane who can hold on his lane, who can clear fast, who can rotate into the jungle, into the turtle when needed, I think that's pretty smart coming in from Team Red. And speaking of a mage, I think they should be banning Luoi right now, because if they get their hands on a Luoi, I think it's going to be very difficult for Team Blue to. Okay, a Diggy ban. I see I see why they would do that. What do you think about that? What do you think about a Luoi pick for the team Red?
They might go for a lower pick because this in this team comp, it may work well, and they are still yet to pick a mage. We also seen a Diggy ban because they want to block out the possibility that the Diggy could be their tanks. But unfortunately, Edith is the tank here. Maybe I'm guessing that Edith is the tank.
I think so too, because I do not see any other lane that she could potentially be going into. And we see a Yin jungle pick coming in from Team Blue. But my question is, who is he going to ult? Is it going to be the Roger? Because if he does manage to take anyone else, it's either going to be a 50-50 or he is going to come out dead. And a Clint marksman coming in from Team Blue with the Lunox pick on Team Red. I think a Valentina would be a good choice. Valentina, like I said, okay, they're going for the Changa.
Uh,
What do you
you're right. You're right, Pooja. They have picked a very dive comp. They made sure that Yin cannot ult anyone there. So maybe it could be Changa or maybe Roger who's going to that domain expansion right there. Because others are all the other three are very tanky here. and they Yin might or might not.
I kind of like the idea as to what both of you were getting onto. But here's the thing now. Since the draft is all set and stable, who do you think will get the win? Pooja, I'm going to ask for you. Will it be the blue team? Will it be the red team? Make a quick guess.
I think it is going to be the red team for me according to the draft. I
Okay.
see how this is going to play out, and if it plays out that way, I think it's a sure win for Team Red.
All right. And what about you, Peachy? Who do you
I'm
think will get the
also
win?
I'm also favoring the team red because their team has a very dive com specific,
Hmm.
and they have enough damage also to wipe out the enemy, which we might see that happen.
All right, all right. So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Both the casters out there, the lovely ladies, think that it's gonna be the red team winning it out. Now here's, a good information about you that I was also trying to find out which team is which, but we'll just wait and see how it eventually pans out. We're gonna be keeping this as a spoiler for all of the people out there on the comment section. We are in the land of dawn, and it's going to be the blue team versus the red team. The names will be announced pretty soon, but I love the rotation that will. Oh my goodness! Look at the early aggressive play and aggressive river control that is being established by Edith and Chang'e.
I think that is pretty important for them to do that, because if they stop the Yin from getting snowballed, it's going to be very difficult for him to come online onto because the movement speed on Chang'e, the distance that she can maintain is going to be pretty hard for them to catch, given that you have a Akai frontliner who is pretty good at disengaging a fight, right? So I think disrupting him early on onto the jungle is a very smart decision coming in from Team Red.
We have seen Edith going in for to disrupting the jungle. Yes, you're right about that. But they have moved on to the top lane right now and they caught Tigreal right there, and we are seeing an Akai ult right now, and Tigreal unfortunately dies.
Yeah, that is indeed true. A chain CC coming in right then and there, and that's gonna be the domain expansion being brought in. Akai wants to survive that, but hey, going to be still the competition. Itadori Yuji is basically being taken down. Will finally get the pick on Survivor, but not before he himself gets taken in a different abode. Why do you think? No, absolutely, he did not think about that. But one thing that I found out finally is going to be the fact that White Feather are on the red side, girls. It's White Feather on the red side, Alchemist on the blue side.
Thank you for clearing that for us. I was pretty much confused what team is on what side. So thank you for clearing that, Carrier.
Most welcome. But hey. Now we're already seeing some back and forth fights. But look at the goal lead that is building up. About 1,500 goal lead in favor of White Feathers. And you can constantly look at the amount of poke that Xbox has to deal with. But look at towards the top side, like in pounds, maybe not just outside of the range, but a good ultimate by Itadori Yuji. I don't think so he'll be able to get anything out of that Xbox, though he will eventually survive, and that's going to be the onwards coming in with the knockup as well. Where's the ultimate? Really want to look at that primal form, but that's not coming into the play whatsoever. As that's going to be yet again some back and forth trades coming in. A good Earth Shatterer with a couple of people knocked up. A pretty low HP primal form. Does not matter. As it's Jamba Uchiha taking care of Dr. Disrespect on that Edith. And Savars will be pushed off of that turtle pit.
I think both the majors from both sides did pretty well job zoning out the teams and trying to give a lot of CC. But I think when it comes to the team fight, um, even though you do have a Vexana on your side with the Eternal Guard, Changi is also pretty good with her range, and the potential with her ultimate is really good into zoning the team fights, because like I said, you have two tanky frontliners and it is on full stacks, crazy damage.
We are already seeing the first turtle taken by team White Feather Esports, which is going to the Akai. And we are seeing Yuji Itadori going into the
Oh,
tower and taking that tower damage.
bit of an over engage out there coming in, and That's such a great. That's a great bait being played by. Do you think? And that's another pick onto Akunoi. That's going to be again the implosion coming in. I don't think so. They should have enough damage to take Doctor Disrespect down. Onwards should be there. Yeah, he's going to be running away, and that's just a bit of a recall spam. But now we're going to be joined in by the Chango over towards the bottom side, is where we're going to be looking at the Gatot Kacha getting obliterated by the fires. Lasting insanity coming in by Dark. Pretty fiery move and a flashy one that too.
So this is what
We
I
are
was
again
talking about when I was. Yes, Peachy?
No, we are again seeing a rotation at the top right now, and Roger getting all the gold from the gold shield. And
That
look
is
at them
true.
zooming.
Absolutely. The onward comes into play, but that's going to be the sacred sword being used up. Still a good pin down coming in whatsoever by the heavy spin. Should eventually be able to get a pick. And yes, that again falls off the picture. But that's going to be another knock up into the play. Dr. Disrespected and deleted. But there we go. Dark jumps in, shining light bright for his own team. The lasting insanity is there. And he's going to be getting a triple kill already. Wants to go in for a maniac. The Uchiha now needs to use his Sharingan to dodge all of those flashy fires. But he actually goes in a bit too close. Like in Pounce is there, and that is Do You Think's unstoppable.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about when I said that Team Red has pretty well team fight potential, because you do have the Xborg who can sustain on the EXP lane. You have Akai who is a great frontline. You have Edith who gives good CC. It gives a very good space for both the Roger and Chang'e to pick those enemies off, because if you do not sustain, if your team do not sustain the damage, how is a Vexana or how is a Yin going to do anything? Because once Yin ultimate is used, you pretty much can't do anything. You have to back off. Vexana, after using her skills, she has to back off at least for 6 to 7 seconds. But Chang'e, the cooldown on all of her skills are pretty low. So they do have a pretty good team fight potential. And if they do keep taking team fights, I think this is what is going to happen. That is happening right now.
Seems to be the case as heavy spin connects yet again, and that's going to be Changa getting a good pick. But look at everyone on the other side inside the tower being obliterated whatsoever. And it's just Itadori Yuji now remaining on that. He needs to turn into the Sukuna whatsoever to try and take all of them down in his own shrine. But that is just not
Even Sukuna is
happening.
not coming in handy for him right now. I'm sorry to say
That is indeed true. That is indeed true. But Peachy, there we go. Another fight being brought in. But oh my god, that is the worst possible result. Sukuna is not winning against Dark whatsoever. And another lasting insanity play.
I think we found a solution for Sukuna. What do you guys say?
It's a transformer. Bumblebee coming in play.
Oh my god, the disrespect on the King of Curses is real. But hey, Dark moving back a little bit. That's going to be the onwards used up yet again. A knock up at the Earth Shatterer coming in on a couple of players, and that's going to be the Lycan Pound. Should be enough to get at least a couple of picks right there. Maybe the third one, as everyone's going to be diving into the towers, and Chi is just left in Tathers, Smithereen. And that's going to be the knock up coming in with the Gatot Kacha. But oh my god, that has been the worst possible decision of this team fight. Jumping into a 1v4, being deleted yet again with just Yin now remaining. Peachy, how can blue team make a comeback now?
They might need a good Tigreal implosion, catching all five of them by a flicker ult maybe. And they do have enough damage. I do believe they do. The blue team has enough damage to kill them, but they are failing at the team fights right now.
I think
Seems
part
to
of
be the
the
case.
reason is the goal difference, because they are so pretty, like they are so heavily farmed that it's very difficult for them to match up right now. Team Blue needs to focus on either picking off a single hero or just staying behind, playing passive, and farming, because I don't see them freezing the lanes. So they can come up if they try to just play passive and defend the first lot that Team Red has managed to get their hands on. What do you think, Sked?
I think so. I would agree with the points that both of you mentioned, right? That yes, since now there's a humongous goal lead, it seems very difficult to make that comeback. Now, he should be able to take care of Changa, should have enough damage, just a couple of more basic attacks. Oh my goodness, but the meteor shower is there, and that's the amount of time Sukuna is going to allow you in the my turn. A knockup coming in from Gardot Kacha should eventually get a couple of picks, maybe, but no, that's the primal form coming in yet again by Dr. Disrespect. And he shatters every single one of them. Quite an over engage from Roger. Maybe not, do you think? Is not the question, but technically a taunting answer. As everyone is now falling one after the other, low HP on three people, no one to frontline. Tigreal is just all the way far back behind the crystal. Questionable decision coming in, but both the inhibitors will now fall as the Lord marches down the top lane. Peachy, I don't think so. They can make a comeback. Dragon Spear being picked up by Do You Think? And they should be getting that crystal whatsoever. Legendary for Bumblebee. Make some distance for the man himself in the Chevrolet Camaro. And he's got a double kill, and that should be the crystal being taken down. Just a couple of more hits, and that is done and dusted. White Feather is the winner of this match. And Peachy, I would agree to the fact that you mentioned they kind of need the chain CC, but it seems that everything was just snowballed out of control because of the goal difference.
Yes, you're right about that. They was fallen short behind the goal. They could have farmed a little more while before taking the fights, but they failed, and it resulted in the Lord taking that damage, the tower and the base going down.
That is indeed true. So, Pooja, what do you think they should have done in order to potentially, come out on top? Maybe some changes in the draft because the Gatot Kacha pick did not work out for them.
It did not work out at that time, but I think the biggest mistake that they did was Gatot jumping into four people. Even though that was a fabulous ultimate by him, he should have known that his teammates were pretty low. He needed to, and the Lord was very far behind from coming into their inhibitor towers, so they could have refilled their HPs. He could have given, the front lining. You shouldn't have jumped like that onto four people when you know you don't have enough damage to dish them out. That, I think, that was one of the biggest mistake that cost them two of their people, and then you just had Tigreal and Vexana left to defend for the Lord. And ulting in Changa with that build, I don't think that was a pretty good decision when you know ki you do not have enough damage to kill her off. So they could have played passive there, waited for the Lord. Vexana already had her Eternal Guard ready. She should have used it while the Lord was marching down the inhibitor, but taking an engage when you know you cannot win it, I think that was not the right decision at the end.
I would kind of agree with you over that fact. But ladies and gentlemen, that's about it for this game. It was a super fun matchup coming in, and White for the Esports are the ones who were able to close it out. But we still have got quite a few more games remaining because the next one is going to be even more lit. It's going to be Octagram with up against Heaven to Me. I mean, I would agree. I was on the desk with two amazing castles right now, but we've got two more for the next game itself, and it's going to be Nana Plays along with Linville. We'll catch you guys after this short break. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Midsummer Season 2 tournament here. I'm your caster Linwell, and joining me today is going to be Nana Plays.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the brand new tournament. It's a girl Nana Place. How you all doing?
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Uh, So, how have you been liking this tournament so far? Have you seen any of the matches?
Yeah, I have participated many tournaments. Even I did casting also. So this is I think my fourth casting tournament. So I'm literally feeling really glad for this opportunity having casting.
All right, all right.
Um,
Cool. Well, it seems, but without further ado, let's just go into the draft section, I guess, so that we can see like what these two teams have for us. Although, take a look at the names of the teams. Like, is this Octogran and Heaven to Me?
I think there's
Or
some echo or something.
are yep. All right. Although uh, it's taking a bit of time here. I'm guessing we're gonna just see, your standard gameplay with bans or so, just the meta bans coming from either sides, or maybe it's certain teams usually often go for heavy CC compositions with most of it relying on the roamer or even the mage sometimes for setups, which we've seen a lot in the past with the Atlas or Minotaur, and sometimes even other niche tanks like Kufra or Hylos, which recently I think I've seen in the jungle role more instead. But more often, I think Belric's more popular in this elo. But yeah, I think can speculate though. What do you think though? Nano plays.
Uh, from my opinion, I think Louis and Roger, Petrin, these all are like meta picks. Whenever I used to play rank, these are top
Uh
banning
huh.
in the mid team because even Chicken, I mean Biggie is also deadly for CC heroes. If he is the first pick as a Mino. Okay, anime is having first pick Mino, and you are having chance to pick Biggie. Then
Yep.
it's just like you are giving free win to Biggie team because Biggie can cancel any CC, any ultimate very easily. So these all heroes are
Mm-hmm.
really meta,
That's pretty
and
understandable. Yep.
mm, even Roger is deadly.
Uh huh. Have you seen Roger played in the goal lane though?
Yeah, Roger and
Yep.
Harith. Harith is too deadly, bro. In good
Yeah.
Harith and Hyper Harith is too deadly. Even Harith is trending in Gorlan. I've seen many animes and many in my
That's true.
team who used to speak Roger.
Well,
Even
yeah.
Harith. Yeah, both heroes are too deadly heroes.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's true. That's true. But
Mm.
sometimes, in most of the case, I think we see Harriet getting banned. Though it's been a very long time since Harriet has been picked in most matches. Although might be wrong, 'cause, some teams might strategize and maybe give them the Harriet and then go the ultimate counter with maybe Minsitar, Kufra, or some other team comp with burst potential. But yeah, I think it's
Even
very risky though, still, right?
even Moscow is really like OP after getting that kill. After
Yep.
he got revamped, he is like after using his ultimate, he can immediately delete damage
Hmm.
dealers from like battleground. Like
Yep.
I always ban Moscow because I'm scared of this hero. I can't see this hero in opponent. Yeah, if there is a first pick for my team, I will go with. I will suggest my team to pick Moscow. Just take it and let's go for win. Because I noticed twice a time that whenever there is a Moscow Open in enemy team, there's a free win for enemy. Like we
Yep.
lost
That's
like
true.
10.
Yeah. But I guess um, he did get a bit of nerves though to attack speed and cooldowns. But it's
Hmm.
still pretty good, I think. Yeah, as you said,
Hmm.
a lot of
With speed
burst.
build his two god. Like
Yep, yep.
with speed build his two god. The damage you
Uh,
can't face 1v1 in late game. Or in early game also you can't face Moscow with speed build.
mm-hmm.
I did. I died 10 times.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
Well, these two teams are taking some time though to get ready.
Mhm.
Pause. Okay. Well, it seems like these.
Okay guys, I think there's some
Yeah.
issue. We'll be back in a few seconds because there's some issue. We're back. Stay tuned.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Midsummer Season 2 tournament 2024. A bit of delay in our part there, because of the lag. I mean, no, because of the lobby bug there. A lot of players were stuck in the lobby, including casters and the hosts. But we got that sorted out, and we'll be moving on to the match here. As we go on to the draft here, I'm your caster Linwell, and alongside me is going to be Nana Plays. Say hi to the crowd. Right. Okay, taking a bit of time there, but we'll be waiting for um lobby any minute now. Starting, I believe so. A lot of viewers here waiting patiently for minutes, half an hour, almost an hour, I think, including players. And yeah, anticipation as well as there's just the bugs here and there. But yeah, without further ado, we'll start the lobby in a matter of a few seconds. And yeah, we'll have to see what both teams have for us, for store for us. Two teams here, Heaven to Me on the blue team side and Octogram on the red side. And yep, it's just going to be an interesting match coming from both sides here. Third match of the day. We're on to day 2. But yeah, I think it's going to be an even trade coming from both sides. Though, just have to see what the plays here are going to be made for. Already started, bro. Start lobby. Bro. You want me to give announcement? Ah, okay. Tell. Is this mic clone? Okay. All right, guys, it seems we still have the bugs, so this match will either be postponed or canceled. I can't say for sure. We'll bring you updates later on, possibly. Really sorry for all the delay, and we couldn't be able to show the match. Though we'll have to see what further matches for today, if we will be able to host them all or not. So more details on that later on. But yeah, I think that'll be all for this match at least, or today maybe. Who knows? I haven't been updated on that. But yep, take care, guys, and stay tuned for more Midsummer Tournament.